So, yesterday we started section 2 of First Enoch, and they titled that the parables, and we got a couple of parables started. One of them told about what was to come for the people who worship God, and for the ones who will not. It foretold that the people who were in the seat of power would be overthrown. And then we heard a little bit of a story about an angel named Wisdom who went out and was rejected and came back. But then on righteousness, another being went out and was openly accepted throughout the land. And it doesn't tell any more past that. And then we come to a description of Christ. And you know it's Christ. There's no doubt about it that who he is seeing is Christ with his own eyes. And it's talking about what will happen because of Christ when he comes in the future. Now remember, this is the part that we realize he wrote for the children in the future. This is not necessarily, I think he even realized that it wasn't even meant for just the people that went through the flood. Although the warnings that Enoch sent came before the flood. So, and we'll see this soon. But he is warning about our time, about when Christ is going to come and what is going to happen. And that's where we left off. We're going to pick up in chapter 48. And in that place I saw the fountain of righteousness, which is inexhaustible. And around it was many fountains of wisdom. And all the thirsty drank of them, and were filled with wisdom. And their dwellings were with the righteous and the holy and elect. And at that hour the Son of Man was named in the presence of the Lord's Spirit, and his name before the head of days. Yea, before the sun and the signs were created, before the stars of the heavens were made. His name was named before the Lord of spirits. He shall be a staff to the righteous, whereon to stay themselves and not fall. And he shall be the light of the Gentiles, and the hope of those who are troubled of heart. All who dwell on the earth shall fall and worship before him, and will praise and bless and celebrate with the song of the Lord of spirits. And for this reason hath he been chosen and hidden before him, before the creation of the world and forevermore. And the wisdom of the Lord of spirits hath revealed him to the holy and righteous. For he hath preserved the lot of the righteous, because they have hated and despised this world of unrighteousness, and they have hated all its works and ways in which the name of the Lord of spirits. For in his name they are saved, and according to his good pleasure hath it been in regard to their life. In these days, downcast in countenance shall the kings of the earth have become, and the strong who possess the land because of the works of their hands. For on the day of their anguish and affliction they shall not be able to save themselves. And I will give them over into the hands of my elect. As straw in the fire, so they shall burn before the face of the holy. As lead in the water, they shall sink before the face of the righteous. And no trace of them shall any more be found. And on the day of their affliction there shall be rest on earth. And before them they shall fall and not rise again. And there shall be no one to take them with his hands and rise them. For they have denied the Lord of spirits and his anointed. The name of the Lord of spirits be blessed. For wisdom is poured out like water, and glory faileth not before him forevermore. For he is mighty in all the secrets of righteousness, and unrighteousness shall disappear as a shadow, and have no continuance. Because the elect one standeth before the Lord of spirits, and his glory is forever and ever, and his might unto all generations, and in him dwells the spirit of wisdom, and the spirit which gives insight, and the spirit of understanding and of might, and the spirit of those who have fallen asleep in righteousness. And he shall judge the secret things, and none shall be able to utter a lying word before him. For he is the elect one before the Lord of spirits, according to his good pleasure. And in those days a change shall take place for the holy and elect, and the light of day shall abide upon them, and the glory and honor shall turn to the holy. And on the day of affliction, on which evil shall have been treasured up against the sinners, and the righteous shall be victorious in the name of the Lord of spirits, and he will cause the others to witness this, that they may repent, and to forego the works of their hands. They shall have no honor through the name of the Lord of spirits, yet through his name shall they be saved. And the Lord of spirits will have compassion on them, for his compassion is great, and he is righteous also in his judgment. And in the presence of his glory, unrighteousness shall also not maintain itself. At his judgment, the unrepentant shall perish before him, and from henceforth I will have no mercy on them, saith the Lord of spirits. And in those days shall the earth also give back that which had been entrusted to it, and Sheol also gave back that which has received, and hell shall give back that which it owes. For in those days the elect ones shall arise, and he shall choose the righteous and holy from among them. For the day has drawn nigh that they should be saved, and the elect one shall in those days sit on my throne, and his mouth shall pour forth all the secrets of wisdom and counsel. For the Lord of spirits hath given them to him, and hath glorified him. And in those days shall the mountains leap like rams, and the hills shall also skip like lambs satisfied with milk. And the faces of all the angels in heaven shall be lighted up with joy, and the earth shall rejoice, and the righteous shall dwell upon it, and the elect shall walk thereon. And after those days, in that place where I had seen all the visions of that which is hidden, for I had been carried off in a whirlwind, and they had borne me to the west, there mine eyes saw all the secret things of heaven that shall be, a mountain of iron, and a mountain of copper, and a mountain of silver, and a mountain of gold, and a mountain of soft metal, and a mountain of lead. And I asked the angel who went with me, saying, What things are these which I have seen in secrets? And he said unto me, All these things which thou hast seen shall serve the dominion of his anointed, that he may be potent and mighty on the earth. And that angel of peace answered, saying unto me, Wait a little, and there shall be revealed unto thee all the secret things which surround the Lord of spirits. And these mountains which thine eyes have seen, the mountain of iron, and the mountain of copper, and the mountain of silver, and the mountain of gold, and the mountain of soft metal, and the mountain of lead, all these shall be in the presence of the elect one, as wax before the fire, and like the water which streams down from above upon those mountains. And they shall become powerless before his feet. And it shall come to pass in those days that none shall be saved, either by gold or by silver, and none be able to escape. And there shall be no iron for the war. And no one clothe oneself with a breastplate. Bronze shall be of no service, and tin shall be of no service, and shall not be esteemed, and lead shall not be desired. And all these things shall be denied, and destroyed from the surface of the earth, when the elect one shall appear before the face of the Lord of the spirits. There mine eyes saw a deep valley with open mouths, and all who dwell on the earth, and the sea, and the islands shall bring to him gifts, and presents, and tokens of homage. But that deep valley shall not become full, and their hands commit lawless deeds, and the sinners devour all whom they lawlessly oppress. Yet the sinners shall be destroyed before the face of the Lord of spirits, and they shall be banished from off the face of his earth, and they shall perish for ever and ever. For I saw all the angels of punishment abiding there, and preparing all the instruments of Satan. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, For whom are they preparing these instruments? And he said unto me, They prepare these for the kings and the mighty of this earth, that they may thereby be destroyed. And after this the righteous and elect one shall cause the house of his congregation to appear. Henceforth they shall no more hindered in the name of the Lord of the spirits. And these mountains shall not stand as the earth before his righteousness, but the hills shall be as a fountain of water, and the righteous shall have rest from the oppression of sinners. And I looked, and I turned to another part of the earth, and I saw there a deep valley with burning fires. And they brought the kings and the mighty, and began to cast them into this deep valley. And there mine eyes saw how they made these their instruments, iron chains of immeasurable weight. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, For whom are these chains being prepared? And he said unto me, These are being prepared for the hosts of Azazel, so that they may take them and cast them into the abyss of complete condemnation. And they shall cover their jaws with rough stones, as the Lord of spirits commanded. And Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and Phanuel shall take hold of them on that great day, and cast them on that day into the burning fire, that the Lord of spirits may take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness in becoming subject to Satan and leading astray those who dwell on the earth. And in those days shall punishment come from the Lord of spirits, and he will open all the chambers of the waters which are above the heavens, and of the fountains which are beneath the earth, and all the waters shall be joined with the waters. That which is above the heavens is the masculine, and the water which is beneath the earth is feminine. And they shall destroy all who dwell on the earth, and those who dwell under the ends of the earth. And when they have recognized their unrighteousness, which with they have wrought on the earth, then by these shall they perish. And right there is where he foretold the flood. There's two endings that he's talking about in this book, and you have to be able to separate which one he's speaking about and which one is going to affect his time, and which one he's speaking about that will be for our time. Because Enoch was a long time ago, and there's things that he is saying in this book that we're reading right now, even in what we just read, that I know I've read in the Bible, and that I know he couldn't have known at the time that he was speaking about it. Like taking the word to the Gentiles. That was Christ's mission. He saw Christ, and he saw what was going on. And that is amazing. And they say that there are things about this book that make this not able to stand on, not able to rely on. But so far, in the 6 days that we have been reading, aside from the sirens, I have not found any reason to feel like the book of Enoch does not support the Bible. As a matter of fact, the book of Enoch was included in the Bible. It is in the Ethiopian Bible, in the Old Testament. It is also in the Catholic Bibles. The Jewish people look at it. It's in the Geneva Bible. It's in the Dead Sea Scrolls. So I don't understand why all these people, all these other places, it really kind of burns me that Catholics and Jewish kept it, and we're kind of not given it. And that we're told that it's not sound. And the people who made the decision about what was canonically sound were the Catholics. So that is a little bit annoying to me. And I do speak of the people who removed and added things, and I do get a little bit annoyed with certain things, but that does not mean that I hold a prejudice against that particular religion. I actually believe that we should not be divided into churches the way that we are with different denominations. And I very much so can see why God is going to call us all out of the churches, because people need support. But because we have divided ourselves, if we don't meet a certain criteria, we can't fit into any church we choose to go to. And that's not the way it should be. If a church is of God, it should accept all sinners with the idea of trying to fix them, because church is supposed to be a hospital. But then we get to what Christ said, and Christ said, we are the body. We are the church. And he also pointed out that things would not be the way that people wanted them to be. In Revelation, it warns us that the people are going to turn on their pastors, that they are going to feel like their pastors lied to them. But the fact of the matter is, if you know anything about, if you pay any attention to the billboards in your community each week, the sermons all seem to magically intertwine. They seem to have the same theme. Sometimes they're even preaching the same sermon, just different depending on their denominations. So you realize that there is some meeting about what a community is going to give all the churches. And you realize that at that point that somebody is making a decision about what you can learn. So I can't stress it enough that if you really want to know God, you need to read the words for yourself, even if it means listening along with my videos and reading the book while we go. You need to read it for yourself. No church should hold the right to dictate the word to the people and expect the people to walk away and just take what they say. And if you really want to know God, you have a desire and you're seeking, you have questions. You have questions that you feel kind of silly asking because everybody else seems to accept, but there's holes. And that's why I started looking at these books that were removed, because the holes are starting to become filled. So thus far, save for the sirens, which I'm still chewing on that one, I can't find anything inconsistent with what we are reading in Enoch to what the Bible says. As a matter of fact, it seems to reiterate how long Christ has been around. It seems to reiterate that Christ is the person that we need to turn to, and that there are people that are holding out and refusing to acknowledge him. And I can't see how that's bad, that we have a book that can get so detailed and can confirm questions and can fill in gaps. We know what's to come. He, at this point, is talking about the flood. That's why there's waters to come. And that's Noah that will deal with the flood. And after that, the head of days repented and said, "In vain have I destroyed all who dwell on the earth." And he sware by his great name, henceforth, "I will not do so to all who dwell on the earth, and I will set a sign in the heaven, and this sign shall be a pledge of good faith between me and them forever, so long as heaven is above the earth." And this is still before the flood even happened. This is pretty detailed. "And this is in accordance with my command. When I have desired to take hold of them by the hand of the angels on the day of tribulation, and pain because of this, I will cause my chastisement and my wrath to abide upon them, said God the Lord of spirits. Yea, mighty kings who dwell on the earth, ye shall have to behold mine elect one, how he sits on the throne of glory and judges Azazel, and all his associates, and all his hosts in the name of the Lord of spirits. And I saw there the host of the angels of punishment going, and they held scourges and chains of iron and bronze. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, To whom are these who hold the scourges going? And he said unto me, To their elect and beloved ones, that they may be cast into the chasm of the abyss of the valley. And then that valley shall be filled with their elect and beloved. And the days of their life shall be at an end, and the days of their leading astray shall not thenceforth be reckoned. And in those days the angels shall return, and hurl themselves to the east upon the Perithians, Medes. And they shall stir up the kings, so that a spirit of unrest shall come upon them. And they shall rouse them from their thrones, that they may break forth as lions from their lairs, and as hungry wolves among their flocks. And they shall go up and tread underfoot the land of his elect ones. And the land of his elect ones shall be before them a threshing floor and a highway. But the city of my righteous shall be a hindrance to their houses, and they shall begin to fight amongst themselves, and their right hand shall be strong against themselves. And a man shall not know his brother, nor a son his father or his mother, till there be no number of the corpses through their slaughter, and their punishment be not in vain. In those days Sheol shall open its jaws, and they shall be swallowed up therein, and their destruction shall be at an end. Sheol shall devour the sinners in the presence of the elect. And we'll stop there at chapter 57.